One thing I noticed in the past, and I know there's a lot of production issues, but one of the things that kind of separates some of the European cars from some of the other makes, I won't say anybody in particular, is the cut lines.
Yeah.
The attention. Some of them look kind of haphazard, and other ones look like they're actually components of the styling. And I've noticed, they do a good job with that. And I've noticed, of course, some of the newer Honda models seem to be paying more attention.
Absolutely.
How much emphasis is put on that?
Quite a bit. I think we've always put emphasis on it. It's just the manufacturing technique maybe didn't lend itself to it. And, I mean, that's the biggest thing is, especially bumper cuts, is how is that pulled out of the mold? How do you get it to, and you have to mate it up to the body. But I think we're totally aware of how a cut line will change the shape and the feel.
I think people would be surprised to know how much time is spent on the small detailing stuff, interior and exterior of the car. Everything is very well thought out. And
I mean, we move lines constantly. Some of it's feasibility for hinges, things like that on a door cut, but we're like always tail light lines, everything. Just and it's got to look good in every view, things like that. So
you guys have a lot of battles with the guys that are responsible for making it work on a production line. You have to fight for certain elements to exist.
You choose your battle, and the shut lines are an important one, though. I mean, hood cut, things like that are definitely things that we look at all the time and demand.
We have really good manufacturing engineers, so it's not as much battling as much as working together as much as possible. Every generation, there's a lot more required in pedestrian safety and crash safety, so the package that you work around becomes very difficult.
Is that part of the reason of the cab forward to provide more?
It's more of a this is the styling theme that is done apart from all that, and it was retained. So.
The cab forward is more, let's be a little distinctive from all the other cars, and I think that's kind of the issue with it. It's a packaging thing because it's bigger space inside, but it's definitely from a long view, it looks more one box, so it's more modern.
Some people may compare this to a Scion TC a little bit.
I heard that during the press conference from a couple of people. I don't see it. I think the proportion and the wheels at the corner of this car is a little different than that car.
I think maybe what they're seeing is the black roof, because the Scion has the glass roof.
Silver. I think they've shown
those really basic things. Sometimes people connect cars that way.
Yeah, I see a little bit of cab forward look in the Scion as well.
The TC has some, but it's got the long hood. The hood comes out and it's kind of snouty.
Yeah.
And
I think to understand that they're both aimed at the same market, so that type of buyer will want a similar looking car.
But I think this is much more of a one box than the TC is.
What was the timeline? A year ago, you guys came up with the source for this, or has it been more recent?
It's about a year. It's over the course of that. There was some development in Japan, and then we've had it for quite a while. Actually, this car evolved in the last 2 weeks. Just to give you the inside story, it was the final mock-up for the two-door, and then it became the SI, and it was painted completely different color, kind of sitting in the studio, and decided to show it here. So John actually made a bunch of data, and we built this, and it looks completely different from what it was. We've been living with it for a while, going, oh yeah, that thing, and now everybody's going, that's cool. So yeah, it changed personality pretty quickly.
Taking a look at the back of the car here, I see you got kind of an interesting wing on here. Is this purely a concept, or is this something we might see in production?
That's the SI wing. The position is a little bit different from what the production will be because of visibility requirements and like trunk slam, but the wing element itself, the top element, is identical to the production.
It is the production.
Yeah.
So you take it off the stands in production? Short stands. So it will be somewhat of a wing.
Yeah.
Okay.